What's going on, people? Welcome to the channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, if you're new here, hit the subscription button down here and ring the notification bell so you know when I upload new videos. Today we're going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 1. Came out today. I've been so excited for this new season to come out, and the new episode did not disappoint. Now, like I said in the description, there are spoilers. I'm talking about the show. I will be saying the things that happen in the show. So if you haven't watched it yet, turn the video off and go watch it. But if you want to still hear about it, stay on, and we're going to talk about The Mandalorian. So, man, it was a great show. And like I said, it did not disappoint. It's starting off fantastic with a huge introduction to a character that we all already know. We'll get to that in a minute, but anyways, it starts out with the Mandalorian. He's he's tasked with taking the child back to his home planet, which like I said before in another video, hopefully we find out that home planet, and maybe we'll find out the name of the species and what the child's name is. Give the child a name. I mean, if he doesn't have one yet, let Mando or somebody name the child so we have something to call him. People call him Baby Yoda. He's not Yoda. I know it's the easy thing to call him, but right now it's just the child. So give him a name. Anyways, so he's trying to find other Mandalorians to help him locate the child's home planet, so he can take him back to his home planet. So I'm not gonna say exactly how, but he gets a tip that there is a Mandalorian on the planet Tatooine. So he heads off to Tatooine to find this Mandalorian. So after talking with some Tusken Raiders and things like that, he ends up in a small town. I forget the name of it. It's not Mos Eisley. It's similar to that, though. But he goes into a cantina and he's talking to the bartender there, and he's like, "Hey, I'm looking for a Mandalorian. Have you seen one?" And he's like, "Hasn't been a Mandalorian on this planet that I've seen." He said, "What would he look like?" And he's like, "He would look like me." And he's like, "No, the only person that looks like you is our sheriff." And he points him out. And so in walks a character, the door opens, and there standing in the door is what appears to be Boba Fett. Boba Fett's armor. I'm like, is that Boba Fett? Holy cow, it's his armor and everything. Kind of skinny for Boba Fett. I don't know, Boba Fett was kind of skinny guy anyways. But anyway, so then he walks over, sits down at a table, pulls the helmet off, and it's not Boba Fett. It is a character named Cobb Vanth, and he is the sheriff of this town on Tatooine. And so the Mandalorian starts, questioning him, where'd you get the armor? And he says that he goes into a whole story of what happened, after the second Death Star was destroyed. And anyways, he acquired these crystals and was running away. I don't want to get to absolutely everything, but this company, I guess, showed up and they started just kind of taking over everything. They said, there was very little celebration after the Empire pulled out off the planet, because basically one bad group pulls out, another one moves in. Anyways, he stole these crystals from him, and he ended up being picked up. He was walking through the desert. He ended up being picked up. Big sand crawler pulls up, and basically was rescued by Jawas, and he trades these crystals for Boba Fett's armor. He sees that it's sitting over there. They're offering him all kinds of stuff. He sees Boba Fett's armor. He's like, I want that. So he's been using this armor, wearing it, and using it to defend this town that he is the sheriff of. And so, of course, the Mandalorian's like, I'm having none of this. Give me the armor now. And he's like, no, I'm not giving you the armor. So they're about to fight over it. And all of a sudden, there's this rumbling. And so Cobb Vanth is like, hold on just a minute. Right before they're about to draw guns. He's like, hold on, because all this rumbling, everything's shaking. So they walk out the front, and right down through the middle of the town is this giant, only thing as I can describe as a giant Beetlejuice sandworm going going through the middle of town, uh, and he's like, yeah, this thing's been terrorizing the town. He goes, I'll make a deal with you. So he makes a deal with the Mandalorian because like every episode of the Mandalorian, he shows up somewhere. He needs something. They need something. So they make a deal. So he's like, you help me kill this thing. It's called the something dragon. I forget the name of it. You help me kill it, and I will give you the armor. So the Mandalorian's like, all right, you got a deal. So they take off. He says he knows where it's at. So they take off on speeder bikes. It's kind of cool because Cobb Vanth is just like Rey was. Her little speeder thing she rode on was like the engine of a pod racer. Cobb Vanth is also riding one that looks like Anakin's, the front of Anakin's pod racer with the little things that flip out on it, like this one right here. And so they're flying along, and they come up basically on a Tusken Raiders camp, and the Mandalorian can talk to him. He knows their language, so he's talking to him. And they want to kill this thing too because it's also terrorizing them. So they team up with the Tusken Raiders to kill this thing. But to make a long story short on that, there's a big battle with it. They work out a plan. They get some more people from the town and bring them all out to help. And I won't say exactly how, so you can watch it, but the Mandalorian ends up killing the thing. It's we'll just say it has a Man in Black technique of killing this thing is all I will say. And so they're all celebrating. The thing's dead, and they're cutting meat off of it and stuff. And then they do this thing, and they pull this. Anybody else tell me if you've watched it? They pull this thing out of it, and they're like, yeah! And it looks, I guess it's supposed to be an egg, but it looks like they were like, well, we blew the whole budget on this episode. We need something that's an egg. Run down to Walmart and get one of the big rubber balls out of the big rubber ball bin, those big that you play with a kid, and it's a silver one. And they put like some blood on it, and they're like, yeah, it looks just like one of those balls, those big rubber balls that you would play with as a kid that you get out of the big ball bin at Walmart. But anyways, Cobb Vanth comes over and he's like, oh, here, man. He gives him the armor. He's like, here, and they're all thanking him. And then it kind of ends and it pans off, and there's a guy standing up on one of the rocky hills, and you can just see the back of him, and he's like wearing kind of tattered cloak, and he's got a staff, and he turns around and it's Boba Fett. It's the actor. You can see it's the actor who played Jango Fett in Star Wars Episode 2, and Boba Fett is his clone, and it's him. So Boba Fett it's confirmed. Star Wars lore, Boba Fett is alive. He is alive and well, and it looks like he's been hiding out on Tatooine ever since the Death Star. After Return of the Jedi, he's been on the planet ever since, looking like tattered, like he's just been living in the desert. doing his Obi-Wan Kenobi kind of thing out there on Tatooine. And so yeah, there you go. That's the first episode. It was fantastic. Go check it out if you haven't watched it. If you have, y'all want to discuss it, leave comments down below what you think. I mean, how do you think Boba Fett survived that Sarlacc pit? And I wonder how the Jawas got a hold of his armor, because I mean, they don't give their armor away. I mean, that's their armor is their sacred thing. They don't take their helmet off ever in front of anybody, and they only take it off when they're just all by themselves alone. But somehow the Jawas ended up, I think this is supposed to be like 5 years, if I can remember right, 5 years after Return of the Jedi. So he's been on the planet for quite some time, living on the planet, and without his armor. I don't know if he just said, you know what, I'm abandoning the Mandalorians. I'm not going to be that life anymore. I'm just going to be a recluse out here on the planet. And maybe he sold the armor, traded it to the Jawas for something. Sounds like something a Mandalorian wouldn't do, but if that's what he's trying to do, get away from it, maybe that's what happened. I don't know. But let's see if they bring him back, if he continues on in the series. Mando is still looking for a Mandalorian to help him out, and it's kind of pointing towards maybe Boba Fett will be that Mandalorian that helps him out, helps him find the planet that Yoda's from, and that the child is from. So anyways, that was The Mandalorian Season 2 Episode 1. Like I said, check it out. And I appreciate you guys stopping by. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And like I said before, please subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I'll see you next time. I'm Chewy Solo, and this is Black and Red.